Is there anything you want to get off your chest?
I hate health insurance. I hate insurance, period. That's a full
You hate
sentence.
insurance, period. That's a full
Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah, they're ruining everything,
They
including
are.
Marvel. But other than that, yeah, no, that's all I gotta get off my chest.
Okay. Is there any particular artist that has been laid off by Marvel that you feel particularly strongest about being let go? That was a
Um,
sentence.
I don't feel connected to
Well,
any of them
that's it.
personally,
Ryan
but
does not feel. We have it here first. Ryan does not
yeah,
feel. He thinks that all
it's a
Marvel
little
artists
difficult
should
for
be
me to.
laid off.
Everyone should be replaced by AI.
Yes, everyone are AI overlords known as Alexa and Grok. Fucking
Yeah.
Grok.
I do think this particular I think it's just the way that the layoffs happen that's quite sad about this situation because like it's not like these people aren't doing their job right or that they don't have good ideas or that they don't bring anything to the table. It's literally because the company doesn't want to pay for them to have health insurance. So that's what makes this particularly sad. But otherwise, I mean, I'm sure they're all great people, and I mean,
Well, not
they've
all of
made
them.
some.
Just by chance, there's got to be some pricks.
Probably, yeah, but you're not a terrible person just because you're an asshole. You're just an asshole, you
Well,
know?
sure.
But I don't know any of them personally.
No, that's true. We don't have too much. How do you feel about the Clayface trailer?
Loved it. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
looks pretty good. All hail James Gunn. I backtrack on everything I've ever said.
No, I'll probably go see this one. I feel like I'll enjoy a good, like, Gotham centered horror movie. Like, that sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
written by
you.
Mike Flanagan and produced by Matt Reeves. Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. My mouth is open.
Yes, on my knees, ready to receive. Shipping and receiving. And also, I got a picture to send you because we have our first on-set look at the new live-action Scooby-Doo cast. Did you see this?
I did not.
It's
Oh,
got McKenna Grayson because she's in everything. Uh,
wow.
Let me get the cast real quick. They've been tagged.
Who's making this movie?
This is going to be a series, and it's by
Oh,
Netflix.
series.
Shock and
Oh,
surprise.
Jesus. Yay.
Shock and surprise. Okay, so Velma is being played by an actress called Abby Fortson. I don't know her. I think she's a relative unknown, but I might be wrong. I should probably Google it. I will Google it.
Unknown
Movies
because
and
I do not
shows.
know her.
Yeah, exactly. It turns out she's... Oh my god! Okay, never mind. She's not really an unknown at all,
You just
actually.
live under a rock.
She's Ant-Man's kid.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh,
not
wow.
an unknown. Kind of unknown. I don't know.
Like the first kid or the one that they replaced with Catherine Newton?
Both?
Both?
I'm pretty certain that's the same person.
Really?
I'm like 80% sure that's the same.
Okay.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Okay. I just look. It doesn't matter. She's here. She's Velma. And she was also in The Pit. She was in A Dog's Journey. Never seen that. Forever My Girl. A film called Rated. I'm still... Okay, I think she's like a relative unknown.
My microphone is a push to like mute on the top, but I have it upside down, so every time my cat comes and like tries to get up on my desk, he like hits it. So
Okay.
it's a
I'll
reoccurring
just...
problem I need
No,
to
no, it's
fix.
fine. I'll
But
just riff on my own. It's fine.
just just improv for a little bit while I mute myself.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, so Tanner Hagen is Shaggy. I'm gonna say relative unknown. He's been in like 2 or 3 things, okay?
Okay.
But he does really look like the character when you go to his they tagged his Instagram, and like scrolling through, yeah, he gives Shaggy vibes.
Oh wow.
And then we've got, of course, McKenna Grace, who is playing Daphne. Relative unknown. No one has any idea who McKenna Grace is. I feel like McKenna Grace is in like every single movie right now. She's the new Pedro Pascal.
She's always been like she's been the child actor for a minute.
Just
if you need a little blonde girl, it's McKenna Grace. This is interesting that she's not playing a little blonde girl.
No. They thought we need somebody to play a ginger, so we'll get a blonde.
Yeah, I mean, you know, diversify the portfolio. You gotta show them what you can do, you know?
Known for, speaking of Mike Flanagan, she was in The Haunting of Hill House. She was in Batman Caped Crusader, apparently. Yeah. According to Google. Paw Patrol the Dino movie. The Angry Birds movie.
Nice.
No. She was in Once Upon a Time. Crazy. But no, in terms of film, she was in Captain Marvel. You know, she was in an Annabelle film. She's in the new Hunger Games, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Handmaid's Tale, Ghostbusters, Scream, another Ghostbusters. She's in that film with her boyfriend, the Dragon Kid.
The Dragon
Yeah,
Kid.
she's everywhere. And the last one, we got Fred. I don't know why we're doing such a deep dive on Scooby-Doo. Fuck the Marvel artists. We've got Scooby-Doo to talk about.
Really into the Scooby-Doo cast.
And Fred's being played by someone called Maxwell Jenkins. I don't know what the fuck Maxwell Jenkins has been in. We shall have a look. Oh, Lost in Space. That was a thing. Yeah, that was a...
I've seen like season 1 of that. That's crazy. So
that was a Netflix thing. Sense8.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good TV show.
And just a bunch of other stuff that's like, it looks like direct to digital sort of films. But yeah, there we go. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are you?
I'm
there's
probably...
no Scooby-Doo in that picture.
There's the little paw print. I'm probably gonna not be tuning in for this one, not gonna lie to you. But, you know.
I definitely will be watching it.
Maybe it's not for me.
It's definitely for me.
Good luck to you.
I used to watch, like, Scooby-Doo used to be on every single morning before school.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo is awesome. I just don't really have any interest in a live-action version of Scooby-Doo.
Neither do I, but I don't know. When you go back and you watch those, ironic enough, James Gunn live-action Scooby-Doo films, I don't know. There's a... If they've got the same campiness that those films have, then it'll be great.
You can only hope.
I really like those.
It is Netflix, though, so...
It is Netflix. Okay, speaking of, real quick as well, Warner Brothers officially going to Paramount. We spoke about it a lot at Christmas. No longer going to Netflix. Our beloved Game of Thrones is now going to be owned by Paramount. How do you feel?
Oh my god. Everything is terrible.
Yes.
I'm not buying Paramount Plus. I refuse.
No. I really hope that I don't have to buy Paramount Plus. That would be horrific. And god, everything like DC related is now going to go through Paramount.
I know, that's what like actually pisses me off about it.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot.
They need to sell those rights to someone else, please.
Okay. So, the topic of this episode, and I guess next episode, is we're going to go through and we're going to talk about House of the Dragon Season 1, Season 2, mostly your reaction to it, because I had already seen it, and sort of thrust you into this universe after A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Poor little
this was
Duncan Egg.
a huge change of pace.
Yes.
Very huge change of pace.
And then as we kind of go along, because we're just wrapping up Game of Thrones Season 1 as well, we'll review each season as we go, because this show is fucking massive and really, really good. So yeah, where do you want to take us into episode 1, Ryan?
Well, I okay. I didn't realize I
No.
was gonna have to do this part. Okay.
Well, you don't have to. I just
Well, I
thought,
can.
I just thought we would mix things up a bit.
Okay.
Why not? Take the lead.
So we start with probably the worst scene ever, which is I can't remember her name, but the queen of the time is giving birth to a baby.
That was Emma Targaryen.
Yeah. And it's
Queen Emma.
visceral. It's loud.
It is.
It's terrible. And they immediately kill her.
But the king has to make the sacrifice.
Yeah, to save
it's
his heir.
It's all about
And at the
king.
same time that this is happening, they're having a tournament because of this little princeling that's going to be born.
Mm-hmm.
And with the tournament, you're kind of getting introduced to the Princess Rhaenyra
Uh-huh.
and her friend Alicent
/ girlfriend.
/
Roommate.
/ childhood best friend
Uh-huh.
/ they were just friends. Gal pals. Gals being pals. The whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're trying to get this baby, this boy baby, because only men. I guess we didn't open at that. We kind of opened at the naming of what's his face.
Viserys.
Yeah.
Viserys was named heir to King Jaehaerys right at the very beginning.
Yeah, Viserys.
Kind of set up the themes of the show with Rhaenys getting passed up as heir because she's a woman. She's the queen who should have been, kind of thing.
Yeah, which everyone.
And Viserys takes her place.
Everyone dislikes that decision, even though they all made it happen. But yeah, so they're trying to get this new heir because he only has a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so he makes the choice to kill his wife to have the baby so that the baby can be removed from the mother without dying. And it doesn't work, and the baby dies too. So it's all a waste of time.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Pretty rough for a first episode.
Yeah. And you find out that Viserys has another heir, I guess. Yeah, that's exactly the word for it, heir. His brother, Daemon, who he doesn't want to be heir. That's why he wanted a different heir.
Yeah, he's being told by everybody around him, you cannot make Daemon the heir because he is ridiculous,
bloodthirsty, and horrible.
As soon as you get introduced to him, he's fucking just running rampant through King's Landing, chopping off cocks and decapitating people and all sorts of shit. Clearly not the best choice for a king.
Definitely not. And so he looks at his options, slim as they are, and chooses, hey, maybe a girl wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
So he names Rhaenyra his heir.
And then how do you feel about because obviously this was a pretty stark introduction to this era of Game of Thrones compared to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. This is what Game of Thrones is known for a lot more than A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, because that had comedy and banter and lightheartedness and stuff, whereas this is brutal and bloody and visceral and stuff. What I don't know, how do you feel about the difference in tone compared to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
It was a lot to get used to. At first I was like, man, this sucks. Even though it did have more of a focus on the female characters, I did complain about that for Night of the Seven blah 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 blah. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That's a really long name. But I did complain about that, and here they have a more of a forefront, but they're all going through terrible things. Yeah. So it is I don't know, it's kind of a depressing watch, but the things that they talk about I think are very important, and I really like the way that they handle their female characters, I feel like they give them a lot of nuance and a lot of like story building with them. So I like that part of it more. Like they have more time to grow and everything, being main characters.
Yeah, it's pretty rare that you can kind of. I'm sure we'll compare it when we get to Game of Thrones as well, because there is significantly less female characters in Game of Thrones. There's still some, but they're like not really the forefront like they are here. But it's rare that you can take a show like this, I guess, and be like, oh, this was made by a guy. You wouldn't expect it because it's extremely feminist.
In a way, yeah, it is a little bit feminist. I don't think it's extremely feminist.
I think it is,
but I think that versions of it
are,
like parts of it is like surprisingly feminist.
I think like
go ahead.
The core concept of like, this is a world where clearly someone like Rhaenyra shouldn't be able to succeed, and she's been chosen and put into the position to succeed. That's just like, I don't know, if anybody else had kind of made that, because like George R.R. Martin can get away with whatever the fuck he wants at this point. If anybody else had made that, you'd just get, oh, it's woke. This liberal left-wing bullshit, it's woke.
That's very true.
That's why I feel like it's feminist. They would call
Rhaenyra a Mary Sue.
Yeah, they would. Even though she's 19 and she's not really doing anything. She's not 19 in the show, but I think she was like 14 or 15 when the season started.
At the beginning.
Yeah, but she's just like stood around not really doing anything.
Quite but young still to be like announced heir.
Well,
and like
it was her or Matt Smith
stuff. Yeah.
So, episode 2, we get that time skip. Do you remember much about episode 2? Because I mostly just remember the marriage proposal from the Sea Snake side of things and the confrontation at Dragonstone.
Yeah. That's right, because, I'm going to be honest, I'm probably only going to remember whatever you remember. Because I'm not totally sure about, like, what happens in each specific episode.
Okay, I'll try my best to jog your memory with some shit
Because, no, you did jog my memory, because with Daemon, like, taking the egg for Rhaenyra's, like, dead brother now, and, like, going to hide away in Dragonstone and, like, announce he has this wife and everything, in order to, like, be like, I'm the rightful heir of the throne. You cannot appoint this little girl to be the next ruler of the Red Keep. And then, they want Viserys to, like, remarry after his wife has died. And all of his marriage, like, material apparently is all 15-year-old girls. Or younger. 15 or younger. So, it's quite intense, that situation. He's just like, I have to do it because it's my duty. And I'm here thinking, like, you don't really have to. You're the king. Could literally just say, I don't want to. And then they just wouldn't really be able to do anything about it. But, you know.
Something that, like, amazes me a lot of the time is we'll be watching shit in this show and, like, whether it's fucking incest or someone getting mauled by a dragon or someone having to walk around in in the gardens of his palace fucking courting an 11-year-old, they do a really good job in this show of just making it feel like whatever outrageous shit they're doing is completely normal.
Yeah.
They're like, this is just the world.
Yeah. I mean, because it is normal in their world, like, that's literally, like... And in our world, in some places, it is also normal, so...
Well, yeah, I
besides,
guess so.
like, the dragon part. But, like, the politics part, the, like, royalty, the inbreeding, like, that is all very much happening in our world. Probably to this day. And it's crazy to, like, see it in this kind of scope, because it is fantasy, so a lot of people will be like, oh, it's just pretend. But, like, it's not, really. Like, this is a direct correlation to how all the royal families work.
So, Otto Hightower pushes his daughter Alicent you know, she goes to Viserys, who is in his little cubbyhole bedroom making
To
his
comfort him after the
sculptures.
death of his wife and make him feel all better.
Yeah. Which, at
Ugh.
this point, he also starts getting cuts from the throne. From the Iron Throne. Which is just a slow burning kind of story throughout the season while he's reigning as king. He's just going to keep on getting shredded up by that throne the more he sits on it.
Seems like a design flaw.
A design flaw or fate.
Curse.
So, Viserys announces he will marry Alicent, which upsets the Sea Snake and Rhaenyra. And
really badly upsets Rhaenyra.
Oh yeah, real bad.
I will say she was
still
more
there.
upset at Alicent about it, which kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, but from her perspective, I get it. I understand. You would think that Alicent was, I don't know, I guess she was being manipulated by Otto, so the person you really want to be angry at is him.
Well, Otto and Viserys, because they're fucking... I mean, she's seen as a woman at this point in this culture, which is sad. But, yeah, it's not really anything she could have done. Plus, I mean, she was pushed into it. Like, it's like made her only choice. Yeah. If she doesn't do this for the king, like, what use is she as a daughter? You know? So it's not like she could choose, like, oh, I'm not gonna marry the king or try to marry the king, because she doesn't, like, have anything else.
Yeah.
She has to do whatever her father says.
So at the end of the episode, we get the reveal that the Sea Snake is meeting with Daemon, and they are going to declare war in the Stepstones, because they've been trying to get Viserys to back them, and he won't do it, and they're just going to take matters into their own hands. The Valyrians don't want to side with the Targaryens because of the whole marriage thing, so they're going to go rogue. And then that takes us into episode 3, which, one of my favourite episodes, I think. I really enjoy episode 3, because we got the celebration of Aegon II's name day, the reveal that Alicent has not only gotten with Viserys, but now has birthed a child, and they're going to go out and have a hunt and have a feast for his name day. Meanwhile, Daemon, Laenor, the Valyrian fleet, they're all battling the Crab King. You get to see Caraxes, like, in battle for the first time, and Daemon does that whole fucking fake surrendering thing.
Yeah, the battle at the Stepstones was, like, where it really picked up for me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is crazy.
It takes Game of Thrones a little while to really kick in to get to stuff like that, but it does that in the main show as well. So I quite enjoyed when I was watching this for the first time. I was like, oh, we don't have to wait a while like we did before.
Yeah.
We got the budget early on this time.
Yeah, which they needed it kind of to tell this story, I feel like.
Definitely.
Because of how big, like, the dragons are a part of it. I didn't realize Alicent gave birth this early, I'm gonna be honest.
Hell yeah, she gives birth between 2 and 3.
Dang.
And then that's the whole reason we're here out on the hunt, is for Aegon's name day. We get to see Rhaenyra growing closer to Sir Criston Cole, the killer boar.
So cool.
Your favorite character, Criston Cole. We get that
He was like a cool character at this point. I was kind of like, I was for it, but yeah, no, we'll get to it.
That really sick scene of her walking back through the camp, like, covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to see Harwin Strong for the first time in that episode, and he's, like, watching her come back, and he's like, oh, I want a piece of that woman. Bearing in mind she's, like, 16. But you get to see Harwin Strong for the first time. And then, of course, the White Stag, who it gets said earlier on in the episode that like the white stag will present itself to the rightful heir and presents itself to Rhaenyra, and Viserys struggles to take down his stag. He has to go at it multiple times with a lot of help.
Yeah, didn't
Clearly
they like string it
incapable.
up?
Yeah,
And then
they
he
had
still
it fucking
couldn't like finish it
restrained.
off.
Yeah.
That was sad. That was
The
sad to
visual
watch.
metaphors that they were giving us for like who should be heir and who shouldn't be heir were pretty on the nose this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, Daemon kills the Crab King, chops him in half. How do you feel about Caraxes, the bloodworm?
He was one of my favorites. He was pretty sick.
Yeah, the old webbed dragon.
Yeah, his like introduction in this was fucking nuts. He was like stepping on people and shit. I don't know.
Fucking
It was
just
awesome.
squashing people left, right, and center.
It's hard not to like that dragon.
Yeah, I do like Caraxes quite a bit.
Like I don't
wanna
like
know,
Daemon,
the
but
anatomy of
his
it.
I can't if he's in a battle, I'm not like, oh, take out Daemon because he's got Caraxes. I want Caraxes to die.
So, episode 4, your favorite episode? Because we get to see Daemon and Rhaenyra go to a brothel. Yay!
Oh, God. Yeah, this one was hard to watch.
This was a little bit uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie.
I wanted to put it down. I was like, no.
Yeah, this one was a lot. But
And
it
it
kind
got
of like...
worse after this, if you can
Yeah,
believe it.
That's
It
what I
got
was
so
about to
much
say.
worse. This was like the tamest part. I mean, not really. It was weird and gross. But, yeah.
This was probably like just more visually sexual, but then when you think about what they go on to do, it's like, oh god.
Yeah, and I don't think they did anything really.
No,
Because that's why she goes home and like gets with Kristen Cole because, ugh, it's gross. I don't even want to talk about it. It's a problem.
This one was definitely a little bit of a slower episode, and towards the end of it, Otto kind of rats out Rhaenyra, and it's like you get that showdown between Viserys and Daemon in the throne room, and
Yeah.
he kind of, I don't know, Viserys is one of those where, like, I think he believed Otto and believed that Rhaenyra did do stuff with Daemon, but he's, like, so loyal to his family that he's, like, you know, he won't say it out loud. He'll just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
And I think we got to this point, and that's when I first was like, he's a really good dad, but he's a shit king.
I think
and that just got reinforced later.
Yeah. That was the one, like, redeeming quality about his character was that he was always, like, 100% on Rhaenyra's side.
Yeah.
Even with Alicent, even with Daemon, like, it didn't matter if anything was happening with Rhaenyra. It was, like, what did Rhaenyra say? Like, what happened to her? Like, is she okay? You know? And when he gets mad about the situation, it's not at Rhaenyra, which in any other, like, in this kind of environment, it would be her responsibility to keep her chastity, you know? And to not be doing stuff like that. But in his eyes, he's like, you touched my fucking daughter. You should just die. And I like that. I like that a lot.
I forgot to put notes on episode 5, so we're gonna
I
freeball
noticed that.
Yeah, I just noticed when I clicked onto it, but I can remember this episode. This is another one of my favorites. I like this one. I thought this was taking place at Driftmark initially because it threw me off, but no, it's at the Red Keep, which makes it even more insane. But Rhaenyra has been on a marriage tour to try and find a husband after the events that took place in episode 4. Viserys demanded that she marry, and you know, she ends up getting married to Laenor Valerian with the understanding that he is gay.
Yeah.
And she says to him, like, you know, we'll get married and it'll just be for show. I'll keep shagging Kristen Cole, you can keep shagging whatever his boyfriend's called, and we'll all live happily ever after. And that ends pretty quick because of the end of the episode, but during it, Alicent gets very, very fed up with everything going on. She's, kind of come to the realization at this point that she's like a baby-making machine and that Rhaenyra can go off and do whatever the fuck she wants.
Mm-hmm.
And so she basically declares war in the form of fashion.
Yeah.
In the cuntiest way possible, she declares war by wearing Hightower green to this Targaryen black wedding. And yeah, it ends with Criston Cole losing his shit after realizing that Lenore's boyfriend has found out about him and Rhaenyra hooking up, and he beats the ever-loving shit out of Lenore's boyfriend and kills him. Fucking pummels his head, crushes his skull. Dead
Yeah,
to
that
rights,
was terrible.
gone. It was horrific to watch.
I don't even understand why that happened or what his like thought process was. I mean, I think like the boyfriend came up to him and was like, "I know your secret, you know my secret, like we're in this together," and he just did not fucking like that at all. Maybe he felt like scared that he would get. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was the episode where he asked Rhaenyra to run away to Dawn with him or to Bravos or wherever.
But I feel like he was more scared of being like exposed because he would have been put to death if he was.
Yeah,
because
he broke his honor.
Yeah, they take oaths and stuff, so maybe that's why is like he thought he was being blackmailed and he's like, I gotta kill this guy and
Yeah, we got the reveal that Criston Cole's psychopath. Surprise.
Yeah.
Just big old psycho. And then this was the episode that I was most intrigued by, like getting your reaction from, because of course the casting change. So we got episode 6. Big jump in time. Rhaenyra has bastard children now with Harwin Strong. She's giving birth and walking around the Red Keep to go see Alicent, blah blah blah.
Very clearly bastard children too.
Yes, obviously bastard children.
Like, so obviously. You have two white-haired motherfuckers who are supposed to be making kids, and all the kids are popping out with brown hair. Dark, pretty much black brown hair.
Yeah, curly brown hair.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nope, they're not bastards. And everyone's just like, okay. Except Alicent.
Yeah.
Alicent is like, as soon as Rhaenyra gives birth, is like, bring that baby to me. I need to see if it's another bastard. And then as soon as she sees it, she's like, bastard. Take it back.
Viserys at this point has lost an arm.
Oh my god, yeah.
Aged quite significantly. He's really on the decline at this point.
Decomposing at this point.
Yeah. And we get introduced... I think we got introduced to him before this, but he was in a much smaller role, but we get introduced to Larys Clubfoot, or Larys Strong, and he organises the death of Harwin Strong and his dad at Harrenhal.
Yes.
After they are sent away.
Don't they get burned alive?
Yeah, the big old fire at Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And then they reveal Daemon. Daemon's with the Valyrians. He's having little babies.
Yeah. That was confusing for me when that
and
was
he's
revealed.
with the little kid that was courting Viserys earlier.
Which I guess that just cemented their fucking whatever allyship they had for the war, right?
Yeah, that was probably the deal.
Oh.
We'll help you in the Stepstones, but you have to wed my daughter when she's old enough to bleed.
Jesus.
And Vhagar. We get the introduction to Vhagar.
Oh, Vhagar's cool as fuck.
But yeah, so Laena is Laenor's sister, keeping it in the family, all interconnected, always, and she's having trouble with the childbirth.
This is the point where it starts getting interconnected really fucking oddly, because of the fact that like they're cousins and then uncles and then like it just doesn't. Yeah, this is where it stops mattering. because it's
Yeah.
so tangled up that you like just it doesn't even matter.
When somebody is like your uncle, cousin, and your dad, it's like, why even bother at that point trying to figure it out?
No, yeah, that's no.
But yeah, so Lena is having trouble with her childbirth, and we get to see her basically commit suicide, which leaves Vhagar riderless, which takes us into episode 7. This was another one that I was
Yeah.
like super excited for you to see, because quite a lot happened in this episode. We got to see the Valerian funeral, like the funeral at sea, and tensions are very, very high because everyone's like, oh, she's got bastard kids. And of course Aemond, who is riderless. No one's riding Aemond. Aemond's dragonless. Holy shit. Aemond doesn't have a dragon yet, but the rest of the kids do. So he decides, fuck it, I'm gonna go claim Vhagar. Because why not?
And just wanders out in the middle of the night to go hang out with the biggest dragon there fucking is on planet Earth.
We get to see him like
I was
actually
honestly
take
pissed.
a ride as well. Why?
I don't understand, like, what makes Vhagar go from her previous rider to fucking Aemon? Was it just like as a little kid, so she's like whatever?
She probably thought he was being like quite bold,
Right.
and like, oh, like, okay, I'll show you some respect for even fucking trying to claim me as your dragon, you know. Like, even after she threatened him, because she was gonna fucking set him on fire, and he was like, no, I'm just gonna climb on up here.
Because it was after he like claims Vhagar, they come back and then they get into an argument, all the kids, because like the one little girl also wanted a dragon, one of Lena's kids, and she's like, you stole my dragon, and he's like, well, you should have fucking claimed her. And then and then fucking Lucerys, right, he fucking cuts Aemond in the eye, which was crazy.
There's like a fucking freeway fight going on. To be fair, Aemond did beat the shit out of one of the kids. I think he hit one of the little girls, and then that's when Jacaerys steps in and Lucerys gets involved, and there's a knife in the fray.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did kind of jump Aemond to be like totally real. There were 4 of them and only 1 of him.
Yeah, that is true.
That was fucking crazy.
Hey, he threw hands first though.
Well, yeah, you know? When you're surrounded by 4 motherfuckers, it's kind of like it's real. It's time to fight. But yeah, the knife situation was not good. And then so they have their like little meeting where they're trying to see what happened, why Aemon's got cut in the eye, and like I'm pretty sure fucking Alicent's like, we gotta cut this other kid's eye.
Yeah.
Series like, once eye for an eye. I'm like, bro, you're not about to cut out a kid's eye. That's crazy.
She fucking tries though.
She like grabbed the knife and everything.
I think it builds into that whole running theme of like, she really feels like Rhaenyra can get away with everything.
Because even in this, like, Viserys is choosing Rhaenyra's side. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Stop arguing with each other.
Yeah. He's over it all at this point. He's like, God, I wish this fucking chair would take me quicker. God damn.
He's just like, I want my family to be together and happy. And everyone's like, we hate each other. He's like, but I love my family.
So then we move on to, and I forgot that they did all of this in one episode, but while Aemond is claiming Vhagar, Rhaenyra and Daemon are getting it on.
Yeah.
And out on the beach, just having a quick sandy shag.
Ugh.
And basically, I don't know who it is that comes up with the idea. I think they kind of come up with it together, but they suggest that Lenore and his boyfriend at the time, Carl, old Buck Cashman, they come up with like a plot for Laenor to fake his death, like as if he's been assassinated.
Which we didn't know it was fake at first.
No.
We were not aware. It was pretty horrific the way that he died. He got fucking burned alive. But then that was the perfect, like, environment to be like, oh, he got burned, so you don't really know who the corpse is. And then he's actually, on a boat to, like, go live somewhere else.
Yeah,
but then,
he's gonna go off and be gay.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to continue, like, the line of succession. That leaves, God, what's, the Lord of Driftmark's name?
Corlys and Rhaenys, they don't have an heir now. They're completely out of kids.
Their only heir is Lucerys at this moment in time. And they decide, okay...
Daemon's
well,
kids.
no, because they can't... They're marrying them to the...
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, no, never mind. Lucerys and Jacaerys, yeah.
Yeah, so Daemon's kids, who are the cousins, and,
I love when you try and wrap your head around who's who.
Jacaerys and Lucerys. He's also getting it on with their mom now, so he's their stepdad. And also, like, marrying his children. So, like, their siblings, their uncles, their aunts, their fucking cousins. All at once. It's incredible.
So, with Laenor out of the way, they do a secret, traditional Valyrian wedding. Daemon and Rhaenyra are together. They're a thing.
Oh, yay.
And ho, ho, ho. They go off to live at Dragonstone, I guess.
And that's lasting the whole show so far.
Yeah.
They're
doubling down on it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They are doubling down. So, episode 8, I think one of the best moments of the season. We've got everything being kind of like pulled into question. The king is decaying in real time. He's on his last legs. And Alicent is trying her hardest to make a bid. You know, she's like, come on, they're fucking bastards. She can't keep this charade up. You know, I have multiple kids to you. Name one of them your heir. And there's a big court hearing for it. You know, the whole... Each side of the Targaryen family is there. Yeah. And just when you think that Rhaenys, you know, she's kind of been on the fence the entire time, Rhaenys, because it's not really any of her business. She's like, I don't want to get involved in this shit. But and they're like,
please be involved.
Yeah, she sees her cousin Viserys enter the throne room and she's like, right, well, I'm doubling down. And we get to see Vaemond Valerian beheaded after he publicly calls out Rhaenyra's kids. He gets beheaded by Daemon in front of everyone. And
they really make you, like... Because we all know that they're bastards, right? As viewers. Yeah. But they really still make you, like, yeah, stop calling them bastards.
Yeah.
That's literally what they are, though. Like Alicent's not wrong, but you're still, like, you're not, like, she's not on the right side of things, somehow. Like, that's how the story frames it. It's really interesting. Because for all intents and purposes, I feel like I should be on Alicent's side, but I'm still not.
I think it's because we go in with the mindset of, like, why does it matter? Why should it matter anyway? Whereas it really does in this world.
Yeah, that's what, like, Rhaenyra thinks, is, like, these are my children. That's what matters. They're my line of succession.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, like, take after me. But everyone else is like, but you didn't have them with who you were married with, and that's all that is important.
You didn't have them with your uncle, so...
Yeah. Your uncle cousin.
Yeah. Your uncle cousin husband.
They actually might only be cousins. They might only be cousins.
Rhaenyra and Daemon are...
Laenor.
Oh, Laenor. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
they're only cousins.
They're just cousins.
But he's gone now.
But he's gone now. Now.
So we're left with the husband uncle.
Yeah. Yep.
The
Husband, uncle. Love it.
So for the
And
second half of the
cousin
episode,
sister.
we get the Last Supper, where all of the Targaryens, both sides, coming together. It's Viserys' last night, and tensions are high. Aemon's all grown up now. He's got his eye patch.
Yeah.
Calling
he's
out
fucking
the kids at the dinner
creepy.
table.
Yeah, they haven't. It wasn't because Rhaenyra was living in fucking. They haven't seen each other in a minute after this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, from what I'm pretty certain that Daemon and Rhaenyra have been living on Dragonstone, because I'm pretty certain that Dragonstone belongs to Rhaenyra. She's like the queen of Dragonstone.
Yeah.
So
While
they've been
Viserys
over there.
is still like alive.
Yeah, they've been popping out kids over there instead, and just kind of avoiding.
Popping out hella kids, like 3 of those bastards. Not bastards. These ones aren't bastards. Actually, hold on. The terminology is getting away from me.
She started to pop out a couple of Aegons to kind of even it out a little bit.
Yeah.
She's like, let me get a few of these Aegons out and everyone will forget about the other kids. So, Viserys' last night, we get to see our new cast properly for the first time. The actors that will, portray Helena and Aemon, Aegon, all through season 2. And at the end of the episode, Viserys dies, and Alicent misinterprets his final words when he's talking about the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, just completely hears what she wants to hear.
It's not even
She's like, oh, a boy should sit on the Iron Throne? A boy? My son.
He could have said anything and she would have found a way to fucking make it make sense to her.
Probably. To be fair, it was kind of confusing. It was a confusing riddle. But she doesn't tell... She only tells her father about it. And her father is also immediately like, oh, he must have meant your son. Because that's what they want to hear. And, yeah, then they put into motion the takeover of the Red Keep.
Yeah,
because Rhaenyra has just left back for Dragonstone.
Yeah, she's gonna have no idea for a little while about everything that's gonna happen. But the next day, they're hunting down Aegon so that they can crown him and finally find him, take him to the High Sept to get him coronated. We get Rhaenys was being held prisoner.
Yeah, a lot of people were being held prisoner. I think they were just taking anybody who was still loyal to Rhaenyra and the Targaryens, and just fucking cleaning house basically. And yeah, Rhaenys was taken, but she managed to escape and get away and get to her fucking awesome ass dragon. So, what can you really do about that?
We get that really awesome scene of her confronting Aegon and Alicent
during the
while
coronation.
riding Meleys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is not my war to start, but I know which side I'm on. And she could have ended everything there, but she's like, nope. It's nope. I need this to play out.
Aegon.
Yeah. Would have saved a lot of lives, including her own, to be fair.
Yeah.
So, she ends up leaving and heading towards Dragonstone because she's got to go and inform Rhaenyra that Viserys has died and that
warn
the
the
Greens
rightful
have taken
queen.
over. And then we've got the season finale. How did you feel about the finale?
It really made me excited for the next season. I feel like I would have hated it if I had to wait after that. Because they really set up everything and it ended here really nicely where it was just I was ready for the next part of it.
Yeah. So upon hearing about everything that has happened with the coronation, She gets crowned at Dragonstone
Yeah.
with the crown that gets stolen by one of the twins, the Viserys' crown that he wore because
I thought
Aegon
it
has got
was-
Aegon the Conqueror's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had to use Aegon the Conqueror's because someone stole Viserys's. They just couldn't find it. They were like, shit.
Well, we got this
So-
one in storage.
She assembles like her own small council, and they start to sort of, they made oaths back in like episode 1 or 2. I think it was episode 1. A lot of the lords of houses and stuff came to her and pledged allegiance to her and Viserys. So she's like, right, time to go a knocking.
Yep.
And she sends Jace up north to go meet with the Starks, and she sends Luke down south to go meet with the Baratheons at Storm's End. We get that amazing Godzilla shot of Vhagar in the storm in the distance, and the confrontation between Aemond and Lucerys in the Storm's End like throne room, and the Baratheons like, you ain't doing this shit here, get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have you fucking Targaryens and bastards and shit fighting. Get out.
Which neither of them were supposed to be
And I
doing
remember you
that
being
at
like,
all.
you were like verbally expressing expressing a lot of anxiety for Lucerys.
I,
You were like,
like,
oh, his
knew it
dragon's
was
tiny.
coming.
He needs to get the fuck out of here.
Like, he was not moving quick enough, and it was focusing too much on him, and
Yeah.
everything was so ominous. The minute I knew that Aemond was there, I was already like, fuck. We're so
Yeah.
fucked. Like, this is not gonna go well. Of all people to be there first.
That other amazing shot where it's like a from below shot of Lucerys on his dragon, and it's like a flicker of lightning, and you can see the silhouette of Vhagar above them like a fucking whale.
Yeah.
And she just fucking dwarfs Lucerys. It's insane.
That was chilling.
I think Lucerys' dragon is called Arax, but I'm not sure. So, we get the chase, which I think they did a really good job of the chase, considering, obviously it's all fucking, they didn't get real dragons. But I think they did a really good job with the dragons that can't be brought onto film sets anymore.
Dragons these days?
Yeah, we
Maybe
don't
they got
really
mini
like to
ones.
involve dragons in the
They've been
cinema
genetically
business.
altering them to be smaller. Maybe they just got mini ones. They put little figures on top.
Sure.
Anyway.
Sure, maybe.
Let's bring it back to reality.
So, yeah, I think the CGI and stuff in this show, like you said, it had to be high budget for what they wanted to tell. And I think that's why I really enjoy this chase scene so much. Even though you can tell it's all like green screen and CGI renders and whatever, I just think it's done really well. And the weather adds a lot to it. They do a great job with the rain. And
yeah, their atmosphere, like, it's...
yeah.
They set the atmosphere so well.
So, Lucerys' dragon, we're going to say Arax, but I'm not sure, ends up attacking Vhagar, breathes fire at the big old bitch, and aggravates her. And Vhagar's
her
like...
the fuck off.
Yeah, Vhagar's like, fuck this little bitch, what the hell?
And he just eats him.
And, yeah, chases him up into the skies. You get that beautiful shot of Lucerys above the clouds, and then boom, snap, gone.
Ugh.
Yep. And then you were like, he could have survived.
I was delusional.
He just got eaten. It was like a cartoon. Like, do you know when like a crocodile in a cartoon eats something and you can see like the wing poking out of its mouth?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. You're like,
No, it was
hey,
bad.
he could have survived. I'm like, they're fucking thousands of feet in the air.
Even Aemon didn't want that to happen. He was like, no.
Yeah, he realized what had gone down there and was like, God damn. So
Because
obviously
they both like
Rhaenyra
lost
is cold.
control of their dragons. They're very young dragon riders, so
They are.
dragons kind of took it in their own hands at that point. That was terrible.
It was cool to see, but terrible
Yeah,
for the war. Because
'cause-
goddamn.
Yeah. the whole time they're like they don't want to fight with dragons. No one wants to fight with dragons. Even in the second season, they're like, we can't bring in like all these dragons, but this was the part where you kind of understood like why they don't fight with dragons.
Yeah.
That and also the Battle of the Stepstones was like scary to like see all these like regular people like you can't do anything against that.
Yeah, it's the collateral damage of like you're taking out so many people in one swift move.
Yeah.
So
It's like having a living nuke.
Yeah,
That you could just tell what to do. It's crazy.
So the season ends, Rhaenyra's told about Lucerys' death, and she agrees to go to war with the Greens.
Yeah.
And there we go. Season
and we
1.
all
What
sit
did you
in suspense.
Think? Even though we went and watched it like the next day.
Yeah. I think it was worth the watch. I do think that I didn't like this season as much as I liked A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Okay.
But I liked Rhaenyra and Alicent
Is that because of
and their relationship.
Is that because of the tone or the story being told or
I
like a
think
combination of it all or
I think it's the story being told. I'm not a huge fan of the like politics when it comes to royal families and stuff. But
Yeah.
that's got like I don't think the story's bad or that the story's worse. I think I'm just not as interested in what's going on.
It's definitely like a vibe change from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and then like when we've started Game of Thrones, that was like one of my biggest questions to you was like, you know, how do you feel about this in comparison?
Yeah.
It's like they're literally keeping it in the family for House of the Dragon, whereas
Yeah.
you're jumping around a shit ton of different characters for Game of Thrones and a shit ton of different interweaving stories, and A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is very like grounded and focused around like one character pretty much with Dunk. So they're all very, very different. And I was super intrigued as to like, because you didn't even really know anything about the Targaryens before this.
No, not at all.
So this was really, really great to see like, this is how they operated and why they've got such a bad reputation when you get to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, I really didn't like them. I'm not a fan of the Targaryens. And yeah, like it did put into perspective like the fucking rant that guy went the fossil egg Applebottom went on. And he's like,
Oh yeah.
they're all incestuous aliens. And it's like, wow, yeah, no. They're bad.
Yeah, they're not. It makes a lot of sense as to why their reputation is not exactly loved by everybody.
Dude, it's terrible. They're terrible people.
Okay, shall we talk season 2?
Are we going right into it? Or are
Let's just go right into it and I'll chop it up after.
Okay. I don't have notes for season 2. Do you have notes for season 2?
Oh shit, I forgot to send you them. Yes.
Okay.
I caught myself off guard.